every Toastmaster of this club, every member of this district will voice your opinion. The next speaker, incidentally, is going to be Aaron Watson. And his evaluator will be giving us the guidelines of Humurously Speaking Manual Project 2, the topic, an eye-opener. Please, Mr. Robert Das.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The objectives for Project 2: prepare a serious speech that opens and closes with a humorous stories. Prepare a closing story that re-emphasizes the speech's main point. Deliver the story smoothly and effectively. Time 5 to 7 minutes.
At the annual convention just last month at Palm Desert, Aaron made waves. I was one part of the audience, like everybody else, listening and was enthralled. The applause, when it came, I felt was an applause not only for Watson, it was for every member of District 82, for every member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. All I could do was turn to my neighbor and said, he is from my club. That was the pride when we heard him speak. And I was very sure he would be one of the top 3, if not the best. Fellow Toastmasters, let's listen to the great man himself. Let's welcome Aaron Watson. Check.
Last summer, I was driving back home from office. It was a long day. My eyes were burning and itching. I shared this with my wife, and she said, "Watson, I suggest that you meet an eye specialist." 5 years of married life has taught me what it means when a woman says, "I suggest." The next moment, I was in a diagnostic center. The young doctor had all those equipments all around him. He was very eager to experiment on me. After conducting some eye tests, he said, "Sir, you've got conjunctivitis." "So what?" I said. "Next 7 days, don't look at anybody." "Well, I'm not bothered about it, doctor," I told him. "It's not for something for you to be bothered about. It's for something for others to be bothered about." Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends, I walked back home and shared my experience with my wife. She listened very patiently. After some time, she took out these dark glasses and said, "Watson, you better wear this." I refused to wear this. But the next moment, she said, I saw her wearing it. She said, "I'm sorry, I'm helpless." Okay. The house was silent. I looked around, I said, "Where are the kids?" I packed them off to my father's place for the next 7 days. I was sad and I walked up. It was time to go to bed. She said, "Watson, I'm sorry." "What do you mean?" I said. "I've organized another room for you." I looked at her and said, "Is it for the next 7 days?" Generally, any time when I'm at home, she would take leave to spend time with me. But that day morning, she had to leave early. She said, Watson, the breakfast, lunch and dinner is ready for you. In other words, she's coming very late. In the evening, I'm going to spend time with our kids at my father's place. Okay, I went out and said, bye, take care, have a nice day. I looked at my neighbor's house. It was locked. They had vanished. Probably for the next 7 days. I spent my next few days lonely in my house. My only companion was this dark glasses. I thought, let me do something different. I called up my office and said, Mother, I'm not coming to office today. So please come. Without you, this department cannot run. This made me a little comforted. I felt somewhere there is some kind of an importance. So I wanted to open up with him. Madhav, the truth is, the doctor has told me I've been infected by conjunctivitis. Sir, he said, I beg you not to come for the next 7 days. I overheard another person speak over the phone when he said, if Watson comes today, I'm going to go back home. I walked back home. Not with an itching eye, but with an itching heart. Few days later, I went to my office. I went to meet my manager. Now this manager, who was not so comfortable using the laptop that particular day, was only focused on the laptop. Never did he make an effort to look at me eye to eye. Thank you, sir. I slowly went back and sat in my seat. I sent an email to all my team members. Please meet me for an emergency meeting. The immediate response was, sir, can we discuss this over the phone? Well, I went back home. Days went by. One day when I went back home in the evening, as I opened the gate, I could hear laughter, screams, cries, and I knew my kids were back home. I hugged them, kissed them, cuddled them, had my dinner, and went to sleep. My wife came around me and said, Watson, I'm really sorry for what has happened. I looked at her and said, what happened? She said, I left you in the dark. I wore these glasses and said, dear, now I know why they say love is blind. So the next 3 days, I shared with her all the experiences, how life transformed me in those 7 days. Ladies and gentlemen, my message for everyone here is, small experiences in life teach us the biggest lessons of life. For me, it was 3 days or 7 days. For some, it is 30 years or even a lifetime. You could be the richest, the happiest, the brightest person in the world, but 1 second, you stand all alone. That's the beauty of life. When you meet such challenges of standing all alone, remember, life teaches you to prepare yourself for the future. That's why I call all such experiences as an eye-opener. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Aaron Watson. That was an eye-opener for the Toastmasters and guests. The door is